Hi there, welcome to the CISSP Success Toolkit, Twister of the Day 106. In today, we have a very interesting question for you that is based on CISSP Objective 3.6 Apply Cryptography. Question is Alice wants to securely send a confidential message to Bob and she decides to use a hybrid cryptographic approach. In which order should Alice follow the steps to ensure the message confidentiality and authenticity? Feel free to pause this video for a minute and I will be pausing it for 5 seconds and then we will start explaining it. So let's critically analyze this particular question. So in this particular case, Alice want to send a message to Bob and she want to make sure that she is able to have authenticity and confidentiality both. And in this particular case, for that purpose, she has to use hybrid cryptography. What is hybrid cryptography? When we make use of symmetric plus asymmetric, both the cryptography to send a particular message, it is called as hybrid cryptography. And most of the time, day in and day out, we use hybrid cryptography only. Now, the option says encrypt the message with Bob's public key, right? It makes sense. If Alice is sending the message to Bob, then if we encrypt the message with Bob public key, right? That is what the option is saying. It is not correct. Why it is not correct? Because the message can be a bulk message. It can be a huge message. The main message in hybrid cryptography is always encrypted using symmetric key and not using asymmetric key. So that is the reason A does not fall in place. We'll go and review B, which says sign the message with her private key and encrypt it with Bob's public key and send it to Bob. Sign the message with her public private key, right? So sign the message means digital signature. Obviously, that is a good thing. And obviously, she will be signing with her own private key also. The person who want to sign a digital document has to sign it by using his or her own private key. That's okay. Then encrypt it with Bob public key. What happens is normally when we send a digital signature along with a message, right, we only encrypt the message digest by using the other party by using the same party private key. uh, it is not making much sense because they are saying encrypt it by Bob public key. It doesn't make sense, right? So that is why B is not the right option. We'll go to C, which says encrypt the message with symmetric key. 100% the message has to be encrypted by using symmetric key because the message can be big as well, and symmetric key is best for encrypting bigger messages, right, bulk messages. The second part of the statement says encrypt the symmetric key with Bob public key, and that is required. Once you encrypt a message using symmetric key, then your next step is how we are able to transmit this symmetric key on the other end. And for that we use asymmetric cryptography, right? So we have to encrypt that symmetric key with Bob public key because Alice want to send the message to Bob, so Alice will be using Bob's public key to encrypt the particular session key or the symmetric key and send the encrypted message and key to Bob. So that is what happens in general communication, right? For example, I want to send you a message. So I will be encrypting the message by using a symmetric key or a session key, and then session key will then be further encrypted using the asymmetric cryptography. When I use asymmetric cryptography, I will be using your public key to encrypt the message and then attach this key as well as the message, and I will send across to you. When this reaches to your end, you will be first using your private key to decrypt the key first, the session key first. Once you get the session key or the symmetric key, you will use that to decrypt the bulk of the data. So that is what happens in hybrid cryptography. So C is the answer here. D is also not the answer because it says sign the message with her private key then encrypt it with Bob's public key and send it to Bob. So they're not talking about digital signature here. It is a normal email communication, and you want to use hybrid cryptography to make sure confidentiality and integrity is kind of taken care of. So that is what C is the right answer in this particular question. I hope this question might have given you a good clarity on how the hybrid cryptography happens. And with that said, I wish you all the best, and I will see you tomorrow. Jai Hind.